Good morning. We are live on Facebook, waiting to be added to WTMP. WTMP, if you're listening, we are on hold.
I'm calling Howard.
Please pick up and add us.
It has the two buses going around to the infield lot. Just awesome.
There we
It
go.
is. It really is. Anything you would need, any question you have can be answered here today at this event. Like I said, 50 vendors, and they're all here focused on getting people into homes.
TMP.
Hey, it's Paul Rebein calling in for the show.
Okay.
And don't cut us off early.
Wow.
We want all our time.
Wow. Paul, how was the trip, bro?
It was great.
Oh, we're live on Facebook?
Yeah, we're live. We got one viewer. One viewer at the time. Listen to this. But it was good. We had fun.
Good.
You talking about the boat? Oh,
Yeah.
you weren't on last week.
No.
13
Here we go.
305 7285. 813 305 7285.
I was just calling to let you know we're on hold.
Good morning. I think we're live now. Welcome to the Call for Help show. I'm your host, Attorney Paul Rebein. With me in the studios again this week is my co-host, Robin Lockett, and Malcolm in the middle. How you guys doing?
What up?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yes, I love
Absolutely.
Yes. Malcolm got on and predicted exactly what we were going to talk about today. I don't know how he has this kind of ESP.
Just comes to me.
Of course, the topic of the day on this show, on every show, all across the nation, is the Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade. People never thought it would happen, never thought it would see the day. Other people fought a long time to get it overturned. So you got a group of people very happy and a group of people very upset. I don't know what the percentages are. It's different in different parts of the country, but I would say we're more divided than ever. Let's start off. Just give me your thoughts, Robin. What do you think about it? What's that?
I said I don't have any. No.
Okay.
There's always a bigger picture. So there's a bigger picture to just this overturn, because now that they've been able to go back and dissect Roe versus Wade, to dismantle and say, hey, you know what? There was one missing word or something that wasn't spelled out there to exactly say it was for abortions, right? Mm-hmm. And they overturn it. Now they're hinting LGBT the Marriage Equality Act, which lingers into what's it, Lovey versus
Virginia,
where different races are able to get married. So they have they're starting a trend to be able to go back and dissect and overturn stuff. So it's a bigger picture than this. Although this is bad, but this is an example that they're going to continue. And they're saying it. Now, one thing about the Republicans, they say it. So they're saying it.
Okay, Malcolm, thoughts?
Well, I'm like this, Paul. I know why, and I'm listening to why they say they should have left it alone.
Yeah.
My view on this is that, when it comes down to a man on the vote, I think we should even be out of it, period.
Yeah.
Just because we are a man and cannot do this, period.
Correct.
We need to see where the real vote lies between the people who it actually deals with, and that is women. Let the women vote on it and make it so men should be completely out of it. We shouldn't even have a vote on it. That's just my thought on it, because to make myself, I like to just give my opinion on what I really feel, but that is the overbearing feeling, is men shouldn't even have a say so.
Yeah.
Shut up. So
Shut up.
just shut up on that one. Yeah, let women handle this one.
Just shut up.
Yep, just shut up. Let women handle this one. Men will have to step down.
Give us a call, 888-247-8712. We want to hear your thoughts on this. My thoughts are, it took a lot to get here. Number one, they had to deny Obama his Supreme Court pick, blatantly deny him for a year, would not set a confirmation hearing. And so he didn't get a pick. That if he did, that person would, I guarantee you, would have voted against this, and we'd have a different outcome. So right there, that's one thing. And then, the same thing happened with President Trump at the end, where he got to appoint somebody. They allowed him to appoint somebody, just blatant sort of hypocrisy. And so there's another vote that maybe shouldn't have been cast. If you're going to do one thing for Obama, you should be doing the same thing for President Trump. And then the other thing is, a lot of these people on the Supreme Court had to lie in their confirmation hearings.
Correct.
They all were grilled over and over and over again
About Roe versus
believe
Wade.
in following precedent. Is this a precedent? Is it a super precedent? Are you going to follow it? And they lied. So now some people would say that's okay, that it was better. It was a bigger, more important cause. So my thoughts are, first, that it took a lot of different things to fall into place to make this happen. It's not over. It is now up to the states, which in my opinion, it really should be the same across the country. It shouldn't matter where you live for a basic right.
Correct.
And I think that was the point of the original decision. I understand the ruling that the right is nowhere spelled out in the Constitution.
Right.
But a lot of rights aren't spelled out in the Constitution. And you're right, Robin, the right to use contraception isn't anywhere in the Constitution.
Mm-mm.
The right to same-sex marriage, nowhere in the Constitution. Interracial marriage, nowhere in the Constitution. But the Constitution does provide, the right to life, liberty, the right to privacy. That's where it came from. So we'll see what happens. But it now falls to the states. Florida, as of now, abortion is still legal. They just passed a 15-week ban. So that will go into place on July 1st. So you'll be able to get an abortion in Florida up to 15 weeks, but won't be able to get one after 15 weeks for any reason, even for incest or life of the mother, child, or whatever. So
the ACLU just filed the suit against the state and put I guess for an injunction, opposing that law, so it won't go into effect on July 1st.
Right.
And
let me add that the reason it's still legal in Florida is that there's a Florida Supreme Court case that interpreted our state constitution, which has a specific right to privacy, and they interpreted that to include the right to an abortion. I'm sure that one's in the crosshairs now. It's a whole different court on there than decided that case back in 1989. But that will also take a little while to work its way through the courts. So I'm sure there'll be a huge effort to overturn that. We do have the ability to amend our Constitution here in Florida, which has been done many times. So if the pro-choice movement wants to try to amend the Constitution to specifically allow abortions, they have that right. And pro-life people have that same right. So lots to happen here in Florida. But as of today, and for at least the foreseeable future, is still legal in Florida, but not legal in a lot of states now. Malcolm, you're from Mississippi. I'm pretty sure you can't get an abortion in Mississippi anymore.
That's probably not going to happen.
So, but you're in California now, which people are gonna be able to continue to have that right. Now, Malcolm, you were talking. There were huge protests there last night.
Yeah, last night they got crazy, man. It was about 2,000 officers that were trying to keep a crowd of probably, I don't know, man, maybe 4 or 5,000. That were just, I mean, they were upset. They wanted to get their view across, and they just kneeled down in the street and just shut traffic down, in 4 directions, and they couldn't get them to move. And once the momentum built and everybody knew where everybody was, it was over. Helicopters and throwing stuff. I mean, it was serious. But like I said, it looked like they wanted to go to jail.
Well, sometimes people want to make a point, and
they were there to prove it. They were there to prove it. They were serious.
That's their right, as long as they're not, physically harming anybody. If they want to engage in civil disobedience and be arrested, I guess that's right. To give us a call, 888-247-12. Give us your thoughts on this. It does feel like, we're more divided now than ever. Like there are basically it's almost like there are 2 different countries now, blue and red. I think Florida, we're in red right now.
Yeah, we're red. And this gives, so the Republicans make bold moves and the Democrats tiptoe around a whole lot of stuff. And the end result ends up that the Republicans made a bold move. Now, early on, it was asked of Joe Biden, are you going to add 2 more Supreme Court justices on, add 2 more, right? He said, I think it was played around and said, yes or no. And I think they were toying with it, but that may be something that to offset this, right?
Well,
do they have the ability to do that?
Yes. But then the Republicans get control, they have the ability to add 2 more and 2 more. How many people are we going to ultimately add? Also, the Democrats control the House, control the Senate, and have the presidency. They could pass a law right now if they wanted to,
around abortion,
to allow abortion everywhere in the United States.
To make it a federal law, right?
That law has passed the House of Representatives. There are 2 people in the Senate that will not. What they have to do is agree to get rid of the filibuster rule, like we talked about before, which is not anywhere in the Constitution. And
when was that created? It was.
I don't know when it was created, but I know it was used in the by the segregationists to try to block civil rights laws. But it used to be, like we talked about before, you had to stand up and keep talking.
Right.
And as soon as you couldn't do that anymore, they could go ahead and vote on it. Now they just shut it down totally. So to me, they had to at least bring it back to where you got to get up and keep talking and block everything. And keep it going, and then eventually people get to vote on it.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts that's going on, right? Let it be if it affects you personally, if you see it affecting somebody else. The Roe versus Wade. There's so many moving parts that it's a big enough menu to make somebody have to go out and vote. It's a big enough menu that you would have to go out and vote because of that issue, because there's so many different issues that's going on.
Yep. Elections definitely have consequences, and
100%.
If you don't like what you're seeing, but one thing I don't think people really get is I think they know that for presidential elections, but they don't really view it the same way for state elections. But like right here, it's going to end up being the states that get to decide. And Florida, percentage-wise, I think, at least at times, there have been more registered Democrats than registered Republicans, but yet the Republicans dominate both houses of the House and the Senate in the state. And it's like, why is that? Well, it's because people aren't voting.
And you shouldn't have to make people vote, but guess what? It's evident even with Trump that they speak to their issues and make them, they know what the talking points are. They know the temperature of their party, and they speak to those issues, and to make those people want to see those things done and to get them out. Democrats don't have a clue.
Wow.
They don't have a
clue. Democrats don't have a clue. If Robin ever runs for election, somebody's going to use that in an ad.
I don't care, because in 2022, look at Val. Have you paid attention to Val Demings? And I like Val Demings, but have you paid attention to Val Demings' message?
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard anything.
She looks cute on there, walking in her red dress. Her red pantsuit, and she.
What's wrong now? Hold up. What's wrong with the red pantsuit?
No, she looks cute in her red pantsuit. Makeup's just on point, and I know what audience who she's talking to. She's talking to the police officers, right? But are you hearing anything else about defunding police? That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
I never thought that was a great message anyway.
No.
It was correct. So that was a message that correct. I agree with that.
Yeah,
but
that was pretty dumb.
Her message is about, and the fact that blah, 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 defund the police, that's just stupid. I was like, that's stupid, because that was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. What's currently happening now that you want to excite people to get out and vote? But I knew that message was for the officers, that she wouldn't support it.
Well, I think the message just changed yesterday.
Yeah.
It's interesting how events can totally change things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One day,
it's bad.
One day we're talking about a school shooting, and that's all anybody is talking about. Next day, this happens. It's a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen next.
Lord, please. Well, hey, I wish Pastor Fruster was here, because it is written that times are coming. Times are coming. Hey. Enjoy every moment. Right,
that's right.
Right is depicted as wrong. Wrong is encouraged to be right. And right. False here and false there, and we're in the middle, and it's coming.
What's coming? What's coming?
The end is coming.
You really believe that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no one knows, but I would just say I'm just going to enjoy every moment, see what happens.
I think the end is coming for us all.
Well, that is a definite.
So yeah, Paul, death is coming.
The inevitable will be there.
We are going to die.
Nobody gets out.
I don't know if the end of the world is coming anytime soon.
I didn't say so. So listen to my words. I said it's coming. I didn't say when. It may not be in our lifetime. Maybe not in our grandchildren's times. But it's formulated and it's coming.
Would you want it to be in your lifetime? So you could just say that you saw how the whole thing ended up.
Who am I going to say it to?
like who's you going to share that information with?
We can say it on this show, right before it happened. If a meteor was coming, we can say, well, at least we saw. It's like watching a movie. You don't want to not see the end of it.
No, it's really sad times. It really is, if you allow it, because just being aware, you just see a lot of stuff that's happening, and it's just not right. And you may feel helpless, but folks, there's a way to turn it around, because everything that's happening is happening politically. People that have control over what goes on, what changes, what laws are in place, and so forth. You have to get out there and vote. You have to get out there and vote. Vote for the right person.
That's true. Well, when's the next election?
That's what's going on now. August, and then the general is in November.
And who's up for election?
County Commission, State House, State Senate, School Board.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here. Figure
And
out.
you know, and let me just say this, Paul. So years ago, and it could have been Janae. Janae gave me a lot of good advice back in the day, and I never paid attention to it because I was like, "Oh, I'm a Democrat." But she told me that school board Republicans get into the school board system because that's like, I guess I don't count it. I think that's a very important seat, right? But people think that that's an easier seat to get in, right? But when they get into that seat, that's how they move up. They go to school board, then they go to city council, and that's how they get in. Did you hear Ron DeSantis put money into, I can't say money, but he endorsed a school board member here?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he endorsed a leg. She's on the ballot. He endorsed her, right? So we have to watch that stuff because to look at this young lady from just in face value, because the school board is supposed to be nonpartisan, but just to look at it from face value, if you're Black, you would think, oh, she's cute. She's, not knowing anything about the background. That's what we have to pay attention to, is the background. She's running against Karen Perez. So they have, Karen is a Hispanic. They have a Black guy that's a Republican in there. And they have this girl, I can't, whatever her name is. She's a Black girl. But that's how they get in. And then they move up.
Well, every position is important. School board is becoming more and more visible.
Right on.
So,
and don't vote for somebody that don't have the. Do not vote for a school board member that does not have their kids in a public school.
Makes sense.
That seems
Does that
kind
make
of obvious.
Huh?
Well, that seems kind of obvious. Although they might be like, the schools are so bad, I ain't putting my kid in there. I'm going to try to make it better.
Whatever. They choose the homeschool and all that other stuff, and no, your kid is suffering like our kids are.
Okay, now you said things are bad, but what if you just like step back and say, okay, take the politics out of it, take the news out of it. Is it really that bad?
Yeah.
Or are things actually pretty good?
No, people are struggling. Rent is going up. They can't afford it. So greed is a big part of it. They're not getting paid fair wages. When the pandemic happened and they didn't have anybody to work, they're willing to pay these people $18, $20 plus a signing bonus.
That's not going on anymore?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that was still happening.
No.
But you're right. I mean, I talked to several people this week, as I always do, just clients of mine, and someone said they're about to be homeless.
Wow.
That I guess they were living with a family member, and the rent had gone up, and they weren't going to be able to stay there, and the family member was moving to a motel, and they didn't know where they were moving to.
Wow.
Other people, have lights about to be turned off. So I hear what you're saying. We got a caller. Welcome to the Call for Help show.
Yes, good morning. Peace and blessings.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That voting is important, but I think what is so missing is staying engaged. Political engagement, knowing what the issues are, knowing people's records, how they're voting, just having an insight on the agenda. And a lot of people don't even do that, black or white, and come with such great anxiety when they see all these major changes happening. And so the founders of this country, they was engaged to the point of war, fighting against the British colony. And throughout history, women's fighting for their rights to vote, the civil rights movement, people have to stay engaged. You just can't come to the polls every 4 years and think a magic pill happened and these people is going to move based on your interests. It is forcing them and making them, and of course, finding a candidate that is aligned in our issues. And when we see all this mayhem that's going on here in America, and then we cite it with what's going on in the world, we see people are actively engaged with their government to make their government work for them. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very smart.
Well,
Yes.
what you said was true. I mean, it's true rather, and that's a prime example of what's happening in and with City Council. They come in there. You know, the people that we're bringing down is civic engagement. That's what I do state to City Council. This is civic engagement. These people are coming down and learning the process, but they are also prepared to hold you accountable.
Well,
So
I think,
that's very true.
I think the pro-life movement is an excellent example of people who were 100% engaged.
Correct.
And always knew what the candidate stance was on abortion, and that was their number one issue.
Right.
And so, you know, say what you want about that movement, they were successful. And they never lost sight. It would have been very easy to just say, we're never going to get this. It's always been
Correct.
the same. They never gave up. They never lost sight. It will be interesting to see, depending on how this shakes out, if that movement holds together, and if that issue is off the table, will people vote? What will be the test for that candidate for those people if that's not on the table anymore? That will be an interesting issue, because I think there are a lot of pro-life people who don't necessarily agree with the other agenda. Like, there are a lot of pro-life people who, you know, are against the death penalty.
Right.
So, you know, like, it will be interesting to see how that coalition or that group pulls together. But we do have to, no matter what's going on, I think we do have to step back and always be grateful for what we do have.
Yeah, that's huge.
Oh, absolutely. And
Easy
make
to get caught up in the news and just mad about everything.
no, you'll have a miserable life if you do that. You just have to, you know, push forward, and you know, life is about helping and giving, and just pushing forward to, you know, consistently do the right thing, and just, you know, move forward. Help where you can, create where you can, and you know, complete where you can. So,
and no matter what's going on around you, you know, you got to keep that positive attitude and
100%.
and appreciate the blessings that you do have. So I'm thankful for this show. I'm thankful for you two, but I'm upset that our time is up.
So that's so sweet, Paul.
Once again, they taken away our time. We got to fight for our time on this show.
All right. Yes.
Thought I'd get a riot
yes.
going. Get a little riot going.
I'm protesting right now because we're trying to stop, but we will not stop. We will not be silenced, WTMP. But
let's create a chant.
That's right. We will see you next time on the Call for Help show. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.